I was like, let me rub up against you and get some of that secret sauce. And so the secret sauce I found out was not so easy.
If you could just speak life into us right now, what would you say?
Wow. The biggest thing I would say to do is to have courage. And if there is someone or something you've been wanting to do and you think, I can't do it, and you got to figure out how you overcome them so you can do it, because mindset is everything. One of my friends who read it said, tell me what that meant. And I said, not quite ready to share that yet.
It's in the next book. The book,
Yes.
yeah. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Own Your Brand Show. I'm your girl, Victoria Odekomaya, and on this podcast, we share real stories that would help you grow personally, as well as strategies to help you show up confidently, build your brand, and turn your visibility into real business growth. Today, I have a very special guest, and we've already kind of started talking before, then we realized the camera was not on. So let's turn it on. But this is so important to me, precious to me for many reasons. This lady is a true inspiration to me. I had the privilege to photograph her for the edition of the Boss Ladies magazine, which you can get a copy of. We'll put the link in the description below. But she's actually doing the things that seem far-fetched to me, and I think to many other people too. I'm going to let her tell our story, but without much ado, let's get into the story, and I'm hoping that you'll learn something that would inspire you to keep going, even when the journey is tough. So let's get into it. Hi, Miss Thresette Briggs. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, Victoria.
Thank you
It
so
is an
much.
honor to be here, and I definitely appreciate being in the book. It's Boss Ladies. I mean, wow. Boss Ladies, NAWBO Indie. So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. So
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for coming, because like we were talking, this is reality for me, because I can touch you. You are the chief performance officer of your business, Performance 3, but you've earned a lot of accolades, a lot of things over the year. We're going to talk a lot about it. One that I know personally now, you are the national board chair-elect for NAWBO National, which for me is like, oh my God, and you were, a previous president of NAWBO Indie as well. But that's just a few of the things that you have done, right? And again, like I said, for me, it feels like my dreams is possible because of people like you. So I want to first of all say thank you, for staying the course and for showing that it's possible for me and other people out there that may be going through and doing things and sometimes not seeing the end in sight. So I appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And again, I appreciate you too, because I can touch you back. And I think that's so important for us to reach back and touch people that have helped us by pushing us to inspire people. And then those that shoulders we've stood on to help us. I mean, we just don't get to where we are alone.
Yeah.
And so, and it's not a good place to be on that island by yourself.
Yeah.
So communities like NAWBO
Right.
are certainly part of my growth. And I am highly appreciative of all the women and all the things that NAWBO has helped me to do for my personal and professional growth.
Wow. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So can you just introduce yourself for people that may not know who you are?
There's probably a lot of people that don't. Well, yes, of course. I am Thresette Briggs. I am the founder and chief performance officer of Performance 3. It is a national leadership development firm. And we build high-performing leaders because we believe every leader can be high-performing with the right culture and the right opportunity. So we provide keynotes, assessments, training, facilitation, coaching, and consulting services for different types of venues like conferences, strategic planning, learning series, leadership meetings, retreats, and other types of things that make sense to develop the leaders in a high-performing way in organizations.
Wow. So how long have you had your business?
I just passed my 15th year on May 10th of this year. So
Congratulations.
thank you very much. I celebrated this year. In the past, I celebrated a little more. This year, I celebrated by having a posting and sending it to everybody that I believe has been support to me and just putting it out there and saying how grateful I am. Because again, you don't get to where you are without having great clients, great supporters, a great community, a great family that supports you, and all of those things.
That is amazing. I cannot wait to celebrate 15 years. Well,
it goes by very fast. I tell you.
So before you started your business, like what were you doing? And just kind of tell us the story about how you how did you even know you wanted to start this business?
Sure. Well, it's the spark, I believe, started when I was young. And my dad was an entrepreneur.
Okay.
He first worked in an aircraft factory in the city of Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Look that up. Because I feel like sometimes I'm the only one representing Wichita, Kansas. But I know I'm not. It just feels like it sometimes in Indiana, which is, where I've been for so many years. My dad, he was in an aircraft factory as a worker there for 12 years. And on the side, he was doing his business of landscaping and architecture. And so after 12 years, when he was ready, he launched his business full time. So my brother and sister and I got an opportunity to work with him in the summers and kind of see a few things. Now, we didn't get paid. We got room and board. But, I saw a lot of things. And I think at that time, it didn't resonate so much. As I got older and my dad continued in his business and he became not only a business owner, then a community leader, and he was living his dream. And he was very passionate about it. And I saw some things shift in him that were, in my young self, very important to see. And that shift was that I'm doing something that I want to do. I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. I am owning my purpose.
Yeah.
And so that, I think, was what started my spark. Now, I didn't start off in business, obviously. I went to college, I went to corporate America, and I was there for 20 years before I really started feeling like I could probably do that and reconnecting with what my dad did. The reality, though, Victoria, is sometimes we have to deal with some head trash that we have about certain things.
Yeah.
Because though my dad was a business owner and I think he was successful and I think he was living his dream and I saw a lot of things, I also know that my dad died early. And I heard him say some things that made me believe, I don't know that it was what it was, made me believe that the stress and the pressure of having a business is part of what took him to an early
grave,
an early death, an early grave. And so that was in my head about what it meant to be an entrepreneur. That it's too much stress, it's too much to do. You can't do it. Even though he had a partner, that wasn't successful and that was a split there. So what does this really mean?
Right.
So I had to deal with that piece. And I realized that if I am going to do this, I have to reconcile that. And I have to understand that, yes, I can do this in the way that it works for me. I can balance my life. I can make sure that I'm not burning myself out. I can make sure that I'm not necessarily stressing myself in a way that's going to do that to me.
Right.
And so that doesn't mean I was going to have stress. It's not for the faint of heart, you and I know.
Yeah.
Being a business owner. If you're called to do it, though, it's one of the best things you could ever do.
Right. Wow. So when you started your business, I'm even curious about the name too. Like, how did you come up with the name, and like, what was that? Like, you had that thought, like, I think I can do it. You've dealt with the head trash. Yes. So what happened next?
Well, what happened next is that I did get an opportunity to corporate. I was in corporate for 20 years or so. I did get an opportunity to go out because there was changes happening in that business, and I got a severance package and I left. And I decided to go out on my own the first time.
Okay. Okay.
And then I got a big global client. I worked with them for a year. I was able to help them turn their business around through a big transformation where they were going to get cut off by their parent company if they didn't perform well within a year.
Oh, wow.
So I was able to be part of helping to establish a team that did that. We were successful. We got awards. And they asked me to come on board as an employee.
Oh, I see.
Now, at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. In hindsight, I should have stayed a consultant because when I started working with them, I became an employee again. And the opportunities for me were not necessarily what I was seeing down the road as part of my mission and vision and purpose. And so I left there and then went to another company where I was in charge of 40 sites across the US and some international. It was another turnaround situation. It was about getting back to performance health. It was about building leaders. It was about all the things that I love doing. And of course, you don't do everything you love do. You do some other things.
Right.
I was getting to do a lot of what I loved. And about 2 years into that, year and a half into that, is where I started to feel that again, that I wanted to go out on my own. Also at the time, I started having a challenge with my physical voice.
Wow. Okay.
And so that's a whole nother story, which we can come back to
Yes.
in just a little bit. The reality is that led me to leave corporate America again and start my own business. Now, here's the key about the name. The first time, I just named it my initials, TKB Consulting, because I needed a name.
Right. Okay.
When I went out again, I wanted it to be more meaningful and purposeful because the story that I'm going to tell you in a little bit, I really wanted it to be something that was a legacy, that was part of what I was here for.
Right.
And so I really, really took 6 months to name it.
Wow.
The performance is all about building high performance and helping people to define what high performance means to them. You know, there's this high performance definition that people might have. What does it mean to you? And where can you really make that happen? So that's why it's the right opportunity and the right culture that we believe in, because they have to match.
Yeah.
And so it was about high performance. The 3 is really based on my faith. You know, so, and we know the power of the 3.
Yeah.
And if you believe in that faith, and I'm certainly not, you know, this is my faith.
Yes. Yeah.
And I respect other faiths. This is just what I believe.
Right.
Those 3
Work
help
together.
me to do what I do.
That's
And so
amazing.
Performance 3 was the only logical name I could come up with.
That is incredible. I love that. Okay, let's talk about the voice thing.
Yes.
So tell me, what happened?
Well, I'd been in the job about a year and a half or so. And I began to have a lot of problems with my voice. It started sounding really weird. It was gravelly. I was coughing. I was not able to catch my breath. It was difficult to breathe. There were a lot of problems. And I began to go to the doctor and get treated for what they thought was asthma.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Well, a year and a half into that, it was not working. I was still having the same. They were getting worse.
Wow.
So I had been throughout that time in the hospital emergency room, in fact, about 3 times because I was, you know, it was critical. I couldn't
Right.
breathe and I didn't know what was going to happen. The last time I was in the hospital for that reason, my son, he flew over the house. My husband happened to be somewhere where I couldn't reach him. My son, oldest son, flew over there. He took me to the hospital. And in the hospital, I relied on my faith. And I asked to give me my voice back.
Yes.
And I said, if you do that, I'll give it to you.
I love that.
And so 2 weeks after that, I met someone who
Wow.
who said, "Hey, you know, what are you having a problem with?" And I told him. Now I wasn't that vulnerable to tell people all of what I was going through. She was kind of a friend, and I just poured my heart out to her, and I told her. And she said, "Well, have you ever thought about checking with an allergy specialist?" And I said, "No, I hadn't. being treated as asthma. I thought that's what it was. She said, well, check that out. I went to the specialist and, Victoria, I found out I had about close to 60 allergies that were not being treated.
Wow.
What was happening is that my vocal cords were inflamed. They were so bad off that I couldn't get air in and out. It was not only not only causing me to cough and have problems with breathing and talking, it was causing me a problem with with my voice and the way it sounded.
Wow.
It was really harsh and it wasn't recognizable to me.
Wow.
And so after they figured out what the allergies were, I also had to go to speech therapy to help do exercises to get my voice back.
Wow.
And go through the healing process of my vocal cords that were, they were damaged. So within that year is when I started totally shifting what I was doing, why I was doing it. Because I tell you, when you have something that you believe you are going to lose, that you took for granted, and that other people have told you is a gift, because you're in corporate America and people tell you, oh, you do this well and you talk well and you present, and you're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You don't really think about it though until you're about to lose it.
Right.
And so when I almost lost my voice, I began to think about what a gift it was to me, to the world, and to the people I would impact in this world.
Wow.
I was also a young mother way back, and I had to use my voice then as a young mother to advocate for myself and to do the things that I wanted to do in my career. Wow. So if I was going to help people that I felt were the people I was here to help, I was going to need my voice. Yes. And so that is the story about why I do what I do, because I did not feel that I could use my voice the way I needed to in corporate America. And that was a driving factor in the reason I left corporate America the second time.
Isn't that interesting that you were talking about your voice now, and now it's like the connection between not being able to use your voice in corporate America, but then using your voice, which is mainly what you do in your business. Like, I'm just thinking about the connection in my head. Like, I felt like maybe God was, and I'm a Christian, so we do Christian on this channel. Like, we talk about God. So, like, I feel like maybe God was just trying to push you in the right direction to, like, okay, go start this thing. He's put it on your heart from way back when, and maybe it's a way to get your attention to, like, and then you like talked like, Lord, if you give me back this voice, I'm going to do what you want me to do. Did you feel like that in any way?
I absolutely did, because I felt like that was a wake-up call for me.
Yeah.
That I had been using my voice and I'd been doing things for the places I worked. I'd been doing what they needed me to do with my voice. I had been just doing what I was doing.
Right.
And it didn't really have a purpose behind it. And so as I thought about how I would use my voice, who needed me in this world to help them, and whether you have a voice, a physical voice that you don't like so much, whether you have a physical voice that you don't get to use, whether you feel like you've been silenced, whether you feel like whatever, your voice is important.
Right.
And there are some people who are physically unable to talk. They still have a voice.
It's true, yes.
And so how can they use their voice with intent, impact, and influence in a way that really serves the people that need to hear that on the platforms they have? In fact, on the 22nd of July, I will be doing a presentation for the Diversity Roundtable of Central Indiana around leadership and using your voice with intent, impact, and influence. And I've done that in past because that voice story resonates with people. And I think that's important, especially now, where a lot of people, whatever their ideology is, not going there, right? Not saying what they believe is right or wrong.
Right.
I have my beliefs. I'm not saying what is right or wrong for theirs. I'm saying that if you're going to use your voice, you need to use it intently, you need to use it on the right platforms, and you need to determine what that voice actually means to you.
That's amazing. So I'm curious. I know you said that in the beginning you had to deal with like your dad passing early because of work. Was there any time that you thought that, oh my God, now I'm about to like start my business, now my voice, like did that bring any fear to your mind?
It really did. It really did. And there was a point where when I got to a certain age, the age my dad passed away, I was like, 6 months after that, I was like, I made it. I'm in business and I made it past that age. So I thank you. Thank you, God, for allowing that, and that I had the community support, the people around me to help me do it.
Yeah.
So it was really powerful for me to have reached that milestone.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the whole voice thing that you were saying, and that resonates with me because I also believe that we're here for a reason. We're put here for a reason. God has deposited something specific into each and every one of us, and then we have a duty to share that with the world. And
Absolutely.
how can we share that without using our voices? As a matter of fact, I believe that we are the answered prayers to others too, in terms of like, if someone were praying to God, like, Lord, I need help with leadership. I need to learn how to be a leader. Well, if you're not using your voice to, teach and train and all that, like we are not letting God use us to answer that person's prayer. So I am a big advocate for using our voices, standing up for what we believe in, showing up boldly and confidently. So thank you again for that. You mentioned the conference. We're going to put all the details in there. If you're in Indiana, you walk. Is it open? Is it an open conference?
It is a presentation, and yes, I do believe it's open to non-members.
Okay.
As well.
Is it something that would also be streamed like live where people can join in, or do you know?
Now, I have a link, and I believe it's a presentation where you just register, and then you would probably get the link to join.
All right.
So absolutely, yes.
We'll put all of the details in there so that people can get the opportunity to. But I kind of want to go back to, so when you started your business, things kind of like, tell us about that journey in the very beginning. Like,
oh my goodness.
Was it like rough, or was it like, yeah, I got the, because you have like role models. So like your dad, you saw your dad, you saw him do a successful business. Like, what was it like for you in the beginning?
Well, in the beginning, yes, rough is an understatement. I think those first 2 years, I mean, extremely rough. I was trying to be everywhere and do everything and figure this all out. And what communities am I in or should be in? Who do I talk to? Who do I need to meet? All those things come into play when you start a business. So it can be very overwhelming.
Yes.
And about that second year, I think I was extremely overwhelmed and burnt out. And I started thinking, okay, Dad did this, and I thought I had this in my DNA. But I don't got this in my DNA, apparently. So this is hard. Let me figure out something. And instead of deciding, okay, I'm going to go back into corporate America, which I did not want to do because I don't condone corporate America. I think it's fine for a lot of people. It just, I didn't think was a place for me to truly live out my purpose and what I was here to do. So I said, okay, instead I'm going to talk to people and ask them what their secret sauce was. I was like you. I was like, let me rub up against you and get some of that secret sauce. And so the secret sauce I found out was not so easy. It was the people I thought were rocking it out and just going, like this, like a rocket. It was really like this, all over the place. It's that like spaghetti thing, right? we something great happens and it's down here, and it goes up and down. They told me what their real stories were, and the real stories were about grit, perseverance, failure, triumph, success, the right people, giving them a break. All those things were mixed in. And we hear a lot about businesses that fail within the first 5 years, that businesses fail within the first 5 years. Often that's because the people quit. It's not because, and there's all sorts of reasons why people leave a business. And I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm saying that it isn't definite that if your business doesn't succeed in the first 5 years, that it's not going to.
Right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
You have to really understand what you need to keep doing and stay focused and stay intentional.
Right.
And so I talked to people and they told me all that. A lot of them were in NAWBO. That's why I say I stand on a lot of shoulders. And if I started trying to name names, I'm sure I would leave somebody out. So I won't do that. a lot of women in NAWBO, women in other organizations like the Great Lakes Women's Business Council, the people in the community who were gracious enough to meet with me. And so I really took that and it inspired me to keep going. And so I'm happy to say that 15 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I don't feel the same way I did at 2 years. And why is that?
Right.
That's for a couple of different reasons. One is because I understand that I need to understand my strengths and my gifts and use them where I need to be using them and not trying to be everywhere and doing everything that I think I need to do. I needed to get clear on what I did need to do and then find ways to do that.
Right.
And how I can have the most impact through those gifts and strengths.
Wow. Okay, so all right, there's a part in your article here that I want to read, and because I'm hearing you say that again, and it's really the intention. You're very intentional.
Yes.
And then it says, my goal has always been to use my strengths with intention, which is what you just talked about now. And every opportunity I say yes to needs to align with the mission I've been called to serve. See, this resonates a lot with me because it is true. Small business owners, especially when you're in the beginning, we wear so many different hats.
Yes.
And I know that in some cases, we have to, because it's not like we have a ton of money, right? So we have to be with the marketer, with everything. But there's something to be said for at least identifying what your strengths are and focusing on that with intention, which I think is what you're trying to say here.
That's absolutely it. You really need to understand what your gifts and strengths are and then figure out what are the best places for me to use them. Because to your point, you don't have a lot of money and you're trying to do a lot of things. What are those things you really need to do because of your gifts and strengths? Yeah. And that will help you stop doing too much.
Yeah.
As my little granddaughter
and we
says.
do too much.
We do too much sometimes.
Yeah.
We're just all over the place trying to do things. What is it that we really... Are we saying no to the good so we can say yes to the great? Are we making sure that we are not suffering from FOMO? Because I don't have fear of missing out if I'm over here doing what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. It's a disservice for me to be over there doing something that somebody else is gifted to do when I should be over here. It's a waste of time. Right. And the real big factor about intention and focus is that time is so valuable.
It is.
Dollars might be renewable. Time is not. You don't get any more time. And so you have to be careful about where you spend your time. Yeah. And is that time maximizing your gifts and strengths? And are you able to do the things that you are here to do with that time? So and are you burning out? Are you burning out trying to do other things that everybody else did? Now, and I have, stories about that in my past. I had a client that I was doing something for. Great client, great place. It just wasn't necessarily something that I was totally gifted and strength to do. I guess I could do it. And it was maybe part of my gifts because, I could do it and I'd done it before and done it in corporate America. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. Nor it wasn't a gift that I had found out I really had. It was just something I did. Right. So I just really had to have that conversation with them about, I don't think this is something that I need to be doing for you. I think probably someone else could do this and I can recommend somebody for you if you'd like. Yeah. But I think that it might be more effective if I help you find somebody else who really, really wants to do that, because that's not what I'm passionate about.
Wow. Okay, so I know that some people are probably listening and thinking, well, I need the money, which is like a reality for some people. So I'm just trying to think, if you can think back to like in your early years where maybe you didn't have the choice to pick and choose as much, like what are some of the things that you did, or and if you can share with us how we can, stay true to like our strengths and instead of spreading ourselves too thin.
Yes, that's a really good point, because when you're hungry and you got a sale so you can eat, it is difficult to turn down some things. I would encourage people to really focus on the long term, because if you're doing a lot of different things just for the money, you can damage yourself long term, because people don't really understand what you do.
Yeah.
And it looks like you're trying to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And is that really where you want to be?
Yeah.
And so when you look at what you do say yes to because you need the money, is that something that sort of aligns with a gift
that you have?
or that you could justify it being part of your services that you provide? So you kind of try to make sure that it somewhat aligns. So, for example, if you let's say you had an opportunity to work in, I'm just going to, a simple example, I love to cook. I love to bake, mostly bake. Just because I love doing that, if somebody had an opportunity for me to run their baking business or be part, should I?
Nah, I say yeah. Well, wait, someone can argue that you have leadership skills and you teach leadership, then maybe you can put it.
Well, I mean, well, let me say it this way, because that's a great point. I could teach the people in that donut or baking shop to be great leaders and build the business, but should I be the one baking?
Yeah.
Should I become the chef,
Oh, yeah.
the baking chef?
Right.
No, I shouldn't, just
No.
because I love to. So
Right.
that's, yes, you're right. That clarifying that is important because it could align in the leadership way.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. So I am in a journey right now where I'm trying to revisit what my goals are in life. I've been going through a lot of programs where I'm learning to be about like work on the business or instead of working in the business, because those are two different things I've learned. But then it gets to a bigger picture of like, okay, what are my true goals in life? And I'm saying this because you mentioned how you have to see how that aligns with your vision, your purpose in life, right? So I'm at the point where I'm trying to figure out what exactly is I think I know what my purpose is, but I'm still trying to like make sure that I am still in alignment with that. So that way, all the opportunities that come to me right now, I can look at you through that lens to say, okay, is this part of my goals? And because I don't want to overwork myself, I want to stay true to myself and live a life that is quote unquote balanced. Because I know maybe there's no balance out there, but like I still want to enjoy life and be around people that I love, right? So for me and anybody else that might be in this situation here, like what kind of advice can you offer to like in terms of like figuring out what those goals are?
Well, I think you kind of said it in a way. You want to look through that lens. First of all, you have to start with what are my gifts? What are my strengths? And you have to identify what they are, not what you think they are. You have to do some sort of assessment or gifts assessment or some sort of assessment that helps hone you in on what those are. And there's plenty out there.
Right.
So that's something that, that I help people do. I had to help myself do it. And then you always want to keep a mindset of being open to development, whether it's something big or something small. Each year, if I'm going to be in leadership development, I need to practice what I do, right?
Yeah.
I need to do something each year that is going to develop me.
Right.
Now, either that's something small, I might take a class here or there. I might just talk to somebody that can help me develop or have me think about my leadership development. Or I might do something bigger, like some of the programs that I've had an opportunity to be involved in that are cohorts of leadership development programs that I participated in. So I would say, make sure that you know what your strengths and gifts are first.
Okay.
And then you can start aligning your actions with that. If we don't have a baseline or a place to start, how do we know if we're progressing?
Right.
We are just doing things that we think work. We don't know for sure because we don't have anything to measure that against because we didn't have a baseline.
Right.
And so you must establish your own baseline by defining what your gifts and strengths are by something credible, not just what you think.
That's good. Thank you. And I just realized that I just got free consultation. Right? Well, I want to switch to talking, which I appreciate. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to go into, we said multiple times about how you have stood on the shoulders of others. And I know that not only have you done that, there's so many of us standing on your shoulders as well, because I know for a fact that you pay it forward. So let's talk a little bit about your involvement. Like, how did you decide to join any of these organizations, NAWBO? And then I want to kind of take it on to like, the leadership roles that you've,
Mhm.
assumed over the years too?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was aligned with what we just talked about regarding
Mhm.
gifts and strengths and where can I probably best use these.
Mhm.
So I chose NAWBO because of what NAWBO is. It's all
Mhm.
about helping to, the mission. It's all about helping women to grow and develop and get into spheres of political influence
Mhm.
and power and all those things that we do.
Mhm.
So it is very important to make sure that you get into a community that you think is going to help you do
Mm.
that. And then you research it and be
Mm.
strategic about making sure that's where you need to be.
Right.
So you visit, you look at the programming, you look at the leadership, you look at the mission, you determine, does this align with what I see as my purpose, and
Mhm.
does it align with my gifts and strengths, and is this a place I could really add value to?
Not just what you
Because
can get from it.
yes, because I mean, you could be a shirt wearer, you could say I'm in it. I like to get I like to be meaningful and purposeful and give something back
Yeah.
because, that's just how I was raised and that's how my
Mhm.
parents were and that's the environment I grew up in.
Mhm.
So, I looked at it that way. What
Mhm.
organizations would help best position me to use my gifts and strengths, give back,
Mhm.
and to learn everything I can. Now, I'm a learner. I love to learn. Yes. And and it's about development. So if I don't get somewhere where I can learn and develop, I kind of think I'm wasting my time.
Right. I feel like
So
everything's gonna really wrap. Oh my God, you
yeah.
found your calling for sure.
So it's like again back to that time thing.
Yeah.
So it was, and I really loved how the women in NAWBO helped
Mhm.
me to be in a community that got it. They
Mm.
understood what I was going through
Yeah.
because they're living it.
Yes.
They're either just starting their business or they've been in business a long time and they've had a
Mhm.
lot of successes and failures and ups and downs, and they're able to help you with that. They're able to help you shortcut some of the
Mhm.
things you need to do because they know, no, you don't need to go talk to them. You need to go talk to them.
Mhm.
And they help you really do that. So it was those kinds of things that helped me know, yes, this is a place for me. And that was the same for the other organizations that I decided to be in.
Yeah.
Did my research. I made sure there was something I felt I could contribute to. I
Mhm.
made sure it was something else I could do
Right.
that was valuable and meaningful in helping me to leave that legacy that is so important to me.
Yes. Wow. All right. So I know you have a book. Can you tell us a little bit about that book, Sacred Promise? So you are a part of this book called Sacred Promise.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement in and then also what the book is about?
Sure. Well, the opportunity to be involved in Sacred Promise and anthology came at a time where I was really struggling to finish my individual book
Mm.
and have time to do it and to do it well. And I was like, I'm never going to get this book written. And it just was just tugging at me. And so about that time, I got a contact from Tara Trent, who
Mhm.
compiled the book, and she's, look her up, right? She, like I said, she's doing great things. And she said, "Would you be interested in being a part of this book?" And I said, "Ah, this must be,
Yeah.
this is one of those God things." So
Mhm.
I said, "Yes, I would be open to looking at that." And so it
Mhm.
worked out. And so she took us through a process, workshops, and a process of learning how to tell our story, what to think about. There was even a point where I was struggling,
Mm.
Victoria, with thinking about how much do I share?
Mm.
And she said, think about who you're going to help
Mm.
and what you want to share for your audience.
Mm.
And that helped me to determine I need to share more because I didn't want to speak at it from a third person. I
Right.
mean, I feel like that's impersonal. That may
Mhm.
apply and be good for some books. It's just not what I wanted to do or workable for my situation. So
Mhm.
I dug deep and
Mhm.
I decided to share a lot of my story. Now, there was one piece of my story that I did not share,
Uh-oh.
that
Okay.
I wasn't quite ready to share.
Okay.
It still worked out. The book
Okay.
worked out. But I say something in there that one of my friends who read it said, "Tell me what that meant." And I said, Not quite ready to share that yet.
It's in the next book. The book,
Yes.
yeah, good. All right, so we got something to look forward to now.
Exactly.
That's
So
good.
I'm still working that through.
Mhm.
That is how the opportunity came about. And
Mhm.
I am in the book with, I believe it's 30 35 other women. We have
Mhm.
like 5,000 pages, and we tell our story. And what happens when you have only that limited amount of space to share your story is that you really get very focused and concise about
Mhm.
what you want to share.
Mm.
And it forces you to do that. Because as a speaker, as a facilitator, trainer, etc., I know that it is harder to do a 5-minute speech than it is a 50-minute speech.
Oh yeah, well, okay, because you have to be more concise. Yeah.
And your words have to make an impact. So what are the
Right.
words you choose for that 5 minutes versus the 50 minutes?
Mm.
And so whittling that down, narrowing that down to 5,000 words was really powerful, you know. And the learning we did where how do you start a story and how do you do the crescendo and, the ending and all of that, it was just so powerful.
Wow.
And so I want to gift you one of those books as well.
Thank
So
you.
I will get that to you.
Thank you.
But it is definitely one of the best things I think I ever did. And I'm looking forward to finishing my individual story
Yes, I want to
that
see
we'll
that
share
one.
more
Yes.
as soon as possible.
Hey, well, I would definitely be asking you about that because I'm very intrigued by the things that you do. We didn't quite get to that yet, and I would love to how did you decide to? I know you were NAWBO Indie president, but then how did you? What made you want to be a part of national?
Well, and for the record, I want to clarify,
Okay.
I was NAWBO Indie vice president.
Oh, vice. Okay.
And then I got the opportunity to be on the national board.
Okay.
And so I sort of jumped into that because it was just an opportunity to have the impact that I felt was important for me to have at that time. And so from the vice president role in NAWBO Indy to the role as a director on the NAWBO National Board.
Wow.
Now, the way I did that is that I was already involved in doing things with national because NAWBO is a big organization.
It is.
With lots of members. And it's, you have the opportunity to do things locally and you have the opportunity to do things nationally.
Right.
So you want to experience all of that. And so I had already been experiencing that. I had been going to different conferences. I had been doing lunch and learns nationally for all the members. I served on the national nominating committee, and I did other things. And so when the opportunity came up, I was kind of nudged and said, "Hey, is that something you think you might be interested in applying for?" And I thought about it and thought about it, and so I did, and it worked out that I was selected for.
I'm so happy, because I think for me, it's I said that before, but it's first of all, we're from Indiana. I mean, nothing against Indiana, but it's small town. You know what I mean? And
I'm
then,
originally from
well,
Kansas,
yeah.
so
It's
I'm doing things that I never thought I would get to do.
yeah.
I mean, never in my life
You're
thought
such
I
an
would get to do.
inspiration. Because I mean, I'm from Nigeria, and I know my parents had big dreams for me coming here, but and I have big dreams too, but I remember when we were doing the state of NAWBO and you came up and I was like, oh my God, I want to do that too.
and you should aspire to that because that is what we are. Not only the women that are on the NAWBO National Board are some of the most powerful, wonderful, humble, beautiful women that I have ever met.
Wow.
The way they embraced me and helped me and how we've helped each other. And we are there to serve our membership.
Yeah.
And so if people want to know how, they can get engaged, we're there to help them figure that out.
Right.
Now, there are other protocols, of course. We have our local leaders. We have our chapter leadership council who helps different chapters. They have assigned chapters that they help with different things, leadership development and other things. And then we have other venues. Anybody in NAWBO can come and talk to one of the NAWBO board members, though.
wow.
We are not out of reach, and we want you to.
Wow.
We want you to connect with us, and we want to help you figure out how to navigate through NAWBO in a way that works for you, because our goal is to be inclusive and to help all members feel like they belong and have the opportunity to grow and develop their business. That is what we want our members to have.
Wow.
Mhm.
So I have to say, like, just sitting with you and talking to you, I've learned a few things about being intentional, about using your voice, and just being like having that focus. And I love the piece about you that, you also bring God into it. Seems like it's the foundation of everything that you do. So I'm sitting down here thinking for like some people out there that it might be like, well, maybe I don't have it together or whatever it is. Like, can you just like just speak a word to inspire or encourage or motivate them? And me included too. You've already inspired me, but I feel like I'm definitely going to be getting your book, and if you haven't seen the magazine, please pick up a copy or read online. We have the digital version to read a little bit of our story. And I'm definitely going to be looking out for your full individual book too, because I
Thank
cannot
you.
wait to hear the story. But you have been an inspiration for me.
Oh,
But I just
appreciate
want you to please share, if you want to like just directly and just share with us, like from your heart, for women that are still struggling, that don't know how to navigate these things. Maybe they don't even have people in their circle that they can lean on. They don't have a NAWBO or Great Lakes Women, council. They're just trying to figure it out. And sometimes it just looks like I'm running and running, but it's not really going anywhere. Like, if you could just speak life into us right now, what would you say?
Wow. Well, that is a very powerful question, so I hope I do it justice. I think if I were, the biggest thing I would say to do is to have courage.
Mm.
And if there is someone or something you've been wanting to do and you think, I can't do it, there's two parts of this. One is you've got to address those barriers. What are they? And you got to figure out how you overcome them so you can do it, because mindset is everything in business and I believe in life. The second thing is that you want to overcome those barriers in a way that allows you to reach out to that person, that individual, that application, that award, that whatever it is that you've been wanting to do but haven't done it because you think, I just can't do it. I would say those are two key things. And then after you've addressed your barriers and after you reach out, you sit down and list out every wonderful thing about yourself that you can think of. And if you can't think of anything, think of something somebody told you. Be your own inspiration, because there's two different things about inspiration and motivation. One is motivation is somebody gives it to you and hopefully you have it that day. Inspiration is burning from the inside. And I'd also say willingness and commitment are important to understand the distinction between them, because willingness is about great idea. Oh, that's a great idea. Commitment is I'm committed to doing everything I need to do to make this happen. And so being a Wichita, Kansas, raised, branching out of Wichita, going out, still having those thoughts like, oh, can I really do this? And sometimes shrinking back because I didn't think I could. I had to overcome all of this. So I'm here to tell you it's doable and you can do it. All the things you think you're struggling with now, yeah, I was probably there. And there was somebody else there. So you're not alone, and reach out if you want to. I mean, I'm happy to chat with you.
Wow, thank you.
You're very welcome.
That was so powerful. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Did you want to add anything else?
I think just in addition to the link that we're going to share about the Diversity Roundtable of Central Indiana event on the 22nd, there is also an event that is happening with the Great Lakes Women's Business Council on the 22nd.
Okay.
The evening of the 21st is a reception. The 22nd is an all-day thing.
Okay.
So I would say look that up, and I can give you the link for that. And of course, last but not least, I'm going to give a shout out to NAWBO.
Yeah.
NAWBO.org, NAWBO.org. Look at it, subscribe to the newsletter, learn about what you can get from NAWBO and what you can give to NAWBO, and then just be a part of what we're doing. We are here to help women business owners, small business owners, and everybody that is trying to do something in the business owner realm.
Yeah. Wow. That's so powerful. Thank you so much. I'll put all the links to NAWBO, the events in the description. And also thank you so much, because I did hear you say you can reach out. So we can reach out.
You can, and I absolutely mean that.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I don't even think I can add anything else, but what I wanted to just close out with is that I hope you've been inspired and to take action, believe in yourself, because I think it really starts with that, and if you whatever you believe, I'm a child of God, and just rest on that, what God has put on the inside of you too, because that matters as well. But until next time, stay tuned.